In terms of your recollection of how Buds was and what that entire process, how would you kind of encapsulate that, minus the crazy details that I've had a number of team guys on the show historically. So just kind of in your own words, from your perspective, what was it like?
I think it's pretty perfect. It's not fair. There's so many things that can go wrong through it. And I actually mentor kids right now in ROTC where I'm at, and I have a kid in second phase right now who's going through. So I'm tied to it still. I think that a lot of what I hear doesn't sound awesome of they're making everything easier, but I'm not convinced that that's actually true. Yeah. There's verbiage that goes on about it, but I think that people show up. It's really hard to pick out who is able to get through the training. And I think the community struggles of who will and won't make it. But I think when you're there, the idea of quitting and not quitting, I don't really believe that goes through the minds of a lot of the people who make it through. I didn't get injured, so I made it through. But the level of challenge is so unbelievably pronounced. Few things in my entire life have ever lived up to being what it was supposed to be. I don't think being a SEAL lives up to what was in my mind. I wanted to go be a sniper and do all these things, and that's 1% of what I did. Yeah. But Buds is close. Yeah. And you have the weekends off. It's not, misery and muck. I thought I'd be crawling in my last bit of energy.
Yeah.
And
it's like Hell Week for 7 months.
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't that, but when it was Hell Week lives up to the reputation. Yeah. I think.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, and kind of similarly, I think it was about like I expected. I mean, there were some things that, were harder than I thought they would be, or easier, but they were kind of nuanced and outliers. I will say, San Clemente Island for me was a bigger kick in the nuts than I was expecting. Some of it was because we had a big class and it was in February, and it was a shitty time to be there. But yeah, I agree. I appreciate and respect the way that you put that.
Their idea, I know the island, we're. He said he would do Hell Week over again.
Yeah, same here. I mean, our island was worse than fucking Hell Week for sure. But
my second phase was bad. The first phase, I mean, it totally destroyed me. I'm not some Bud superstar. I wasn't. Yeah. Everybody follow me. I was in the middle of the pack. Yeah. But the third phase wasn't that bad for me in my mind.
Yeah.
Second phase was bad.
Yeah. I think each individual that makes it through has the one almost crucible or crux, or
it gets everybody. There's something that gets everybody.
There's something that's going to legitimately test whoever is there at some point to the absolute maximum. I think and some people it's too much, and I mean, fuck, for that matter, for most people it's too much. But all right, so you graduated with your class. At that time, you went to Benning, and then
I was the last class to do that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
And then you went straight to
Navy appreciation. Yeah. Is what that is.
Yeah, no shit. Get your hands out your pockets, Navy.
Listen here, Airborne.
Yeah. All right, so then you go from there to the East Coast to Team 4, right. Go through SEAL qualification training. You're in your first platoon. What was that like?
I had checked in as they were coming back from a pretty rough deployment, and so when I checked in, I think that right after I checked in, the week of, Clarky Schwedler got killed.
Oh no shit!
And so it was a turnover op, and so I'm a new guy at the team, and everybody came home, and their last mission, they lost a guy.
Yeah.
And it was devastating, and so you came into the dark cloud of what that looked like, and they had their stories were crazy, that there was really big missions that they went on, and really meaningful. And the guys saw a lot of action, and you come into a platoon and that lost somebody, and kind of pick up the pieces of what that looked like. And so being a new guy was not super awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Was the platoon that you were in, were you one of a bunch of new guys, or was it just a couple of you?
It was a bunch of new guys, but I showed up to my platoon. They split basically my Buds class to it was Team 4 half and then Team 5 the other half generally. I mean, there's onesies, twosies over here. But my actual platoon and troop, there weren't a whole lot. So whenever I checked in from leave and stuff like that, I was definitely getting the brunt of a lot of people without a whole lot of other new guys. And eventually they joined, and everybody misery loves company. I got some friends to chip paint with and
sweep the fucking
go in the
parking lot.
Cyclops a million times and whatever it was.
Man. So I guess coming into the team after a fresh loss like that, that's super impactful and devastating, and no doubt affected the mentality and kind of the whole vibe of checking in. What was that first workup like, and did you know kind of right away where you were going, and it was all geared towards that, or did it get thrown around at all?
I mean, I think it got changed a little bit, but we had like the good deal.
Yeah.
So we were going to go and do the cool mission set, and in life, good deals are never good deals, and bad deals are not necessarily bad deals. Like you never know. Yeah. But we thought we had the good deals, so we took it really seriously, and it was just an unbelievably talented group that I was with the first one. Like every platoon I was in was highly talented, but for different reasons. Like everybody's like gone and started businesses from like that first platoon. Everybody has like Ivy League MBAs who are like the enlisted dudes, and then the officers are doing other crazy stuff too. And so it was a special group. And, at the same time, sometimes special groups, you have so much energy and so much talent that you spend it and, maybe not, you don't use your powers for good. So there was a lot of shenanigans that happened during that, but it was, we knew what we were doing mattered. We knew that we had a great mission set. We knew that we had a really good team to do it with. It was awesome.
Yeah. And what was the sit down as far as what you were directed or told that this is where we're going, this is what we're going to be doing, that kind of drove training?
Right. So we knew we were going to go to Iraq. We knew we were going to go to Baghdad, and we're going to go do like the cool mission set. We're going to take a JSOC mission set and get to do it in, the regular team. So we're, going after like the real bad guys. And it was basically like bomb makers and money.
Yeah.
And so all of our mission sets were, we were getting the best assets, the best planes, the best intel, the best deal. And like, we were finding really bad people, and we're, direct action, in and out missions in like 3 hours or whatever it was. Yeah. If you ran into a dry hole, you go find the next building, the next building, the next building. And it was awesome. And our op tempo was awesome. We lived the vampire, only at night, only on nods, clearing houses, kicking in doors, like the most team guy shit that you could do. Yeah. But, it wasn't actually super kinetic, but we wrapped so many dudes up and found so much money. It was really, really rewarding.
Yeah. When I guess during your training pipeline in that first platoon before you got over there to do all that stuff, were there any good deal quals that you got? Did you get sniper, or was it pretty?
So when I was a new guy, they said new guys don't get schools. Yeah. So I got pretty much nothing in the beginning. And so
hazmat and dive supervisor.
Right. No, I didn't even get dive sup, but I did go to hazmat.
Yeah,
and
that's a fucking choice.
That's perfect. So towards the end though, I think like, I don't know if I went to breacher right before, but like, I guess I had done a good enough job, and they decided that they liked me. So I got to go do cool stuff. Yeah. I went to like a car stealing school.
Oh shit.
At the end, right cool. Before we kicked out the door, and like, just like weird stuff, but not like the quals that I wanted, which was like sniper was like my number one thing. And then breacher and, amongst those, I got those later, but not as a new guy.
Yeah. All right. So your first platoon, can you kind of walk me through your mindset and mentality the instant you landed in Baghdad and you're like, holy fuck, I'm in Iraq?
It's so disorienting getting off the plane the first time. You're in a C-17, and it was relatively safe, right? Like that was like 07 or 08, I don't remember the year.
So you weren't getting lit up?
No. I mean, we were landing at a runway that was totally safe. And like where we were going, it was on BIOP, the Baghdad International Airport, and we had, like a cool camp. And it was good. It was good living conditions, and like you had good meals and all that stuff. It was really easy. But like you fly in, and you're on a C-17. Whether like people are sleeping on top of like the containers and stuff like that, putting hammocks up. And as a new guy, you have no idea what to expect. You're like, do I put body armor on? And like some of it, like you're one platoon guys, who 2 platoon, 3 platoon, all the people who've been there and done that. Either they're amping you up or telling you the truth, and like you don't really know which is which. Yeah. And so like you definitely have butterflies, but like I think that we weren't even in camis when we landed or something like that. I don't remember, but I don't think we were. But you get out and it's like 120 degrees, and like just there's a haze, and you smell the burning. Everything is just on fire kind of thing, and you breathe in all that crap. And because like we stayed at Baghdad International Airport. So like when we landed, we were basically where we needed to be.
Were you there the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, we did a strike force thing, and so like we would only go out for like a day and maybe like 2 days at the most.
Yeah.
You know,
But everything else was out of there.
everything was out. It was a strike force mission. You'd go out, do a mission, come home every night.